Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Biblio Fitness. Hope everyone's had a great day. Made some gains in whatever way that seems to you. So today I wanted to talk about a little bit in regards to Jordan Peterson. I'm not sure if you heard of him. He's quite the intelligent man, and he has quite a great message for men. And he's one of those first ones that really started doing an outreach to be better people and to bear responsibility, things of that nature. He's a unique individual, and he's highly, an extremely intelligent, a hyper intelligent human being. And I've always respected him. I've always respected the message. He's like I said, he knows how to drive his point across. He's very eloquent. He's, what every man should aspire to be, very refined older man with a lot of experience and wisdom behind him. But recently his turn to the right has been a little alarming to me. He's always been a person to espouse some of the potential benefits of adhering to Christian mythology, Christian theology, more its structure on what is good, what is bad, and things of that nature. He's always talked about it. He has like a lecture series about that, talking about the different stories and the underlying message that could be found in each one of them, which is quite interesting. And how the fuck that he comes up with those things. Like, how deep are you going in the rabbit hole in terms of, like, because we humans are abstract, so it's always very unique to try to find the message underneath the painting or underneath the music. It's always very his views are quite interesting. I'm not a fan of Christianity, but you do have to respect when points are given, and he makes perfect sense because we are facing, he is trying to, I understand, because he is trying to answer a fundamental crisis of identity in humanity right now as a civilization as civilization as a whole. Sorry. Our loss of values or loss of structure, or not even loss. It's outright rejection of tradition and outright rejection of values. So now we're stuck in this nihilistic space that Nietzsche and Dostoevsky both highlighted and prophesized was going to happen, which is what their work was really all about, and that's the Brothers Karamazov, which I'll get to shortly. But it's the loss of values, and it makes sense what Dr. Jordan Peterson is trying to do, because we as humans, especially now, I don't believe we are capable of coming up with something new. We're coming up with a different set of values, different set of morals, which is what postmodernism is, but it's absurd, and it's clearly that its motives are highly dubious, and no one trusts it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't measure up at all. It doesn't make any sense. People are trying to push for it, and it gains traction, but I hope it doesn't. That's not an option that I would like to have. That's a terrible plan. Like, how it shouldn't be. It's like picking shit with shit. And the reason I say pick shit with shit is it's Christianity's fault that we're left here in this dilemma. It's cleansing and it's eradication of other cultures and civilizations and religions when it was on the up, when after the beginning of the reign of Constantine. It was so complete and so thorough that we have no other options. We have no other ways to look at it. It's it was the backbone of all our civilizations for these past 2,000 years, and but then you have eras like the Enlightenment period that was really an attempt by humanity or individuals to find the truth in somewhere else besides the Bible, for a good reason. The reason that we made so many advancements in medicine and science and the like is because of our rejection of the absolute statements that are found within the Abrahamic religions. But I just don't agree with the ending. I don't agree with the conclusion. Like like obviously this is with giant grain of salt. Like at the end of the day, this is my opinion. Who the fuck am I to criticize Jordan Peterson? I'm sure that guy would bring circles around me in a one-on-one discussion. I feel like I have to say that. You know, this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion on what could possibly be done and what's been going on. And the consequences, because I've read Nietzsche and I've read Dostoevsky, and I just feel like I'm more on the side of Nietzsche, chase greatness instead of chase religion or chase tradition or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, Christianity is such a slave religion and it's so pernicious, and all the damage that Christianity has caused that I just alluded to earlier, and we can, a whole podcast theme for years could be talked about the atrocities and the ramifications of Christian ideology on the human psyche. So I'll definitely not elaborate too much on that, but for Jordan Peterson to draw that conclusion is quite alarming, like quite surprising in a way that you read the Gulag Archipelago. I'm sure he's read more. He's read way more than I have, and he's read the wars and the genocides enacted by Christian religion or Christian excuses and stuff like that. And for you to still be okay with Christian, like to still go with that, I guess, as the lesser of all evils, it's terrible. But at the same time, I don't really have an answer. Like I said, I do understand where he's going to. And it makes sense that he's gone to the religious right, because the left has absolutely villainized him and has made him out to be like the devil for his message, which is nothing wrong at all. The world needs strong men. No matter what these effeminate dumbasses tell you, the world needs strong men. There's a reason that when there was a siege conducted or a town sacked, the first thing that the besieging army would do was wipe out the men of military age. But that's beside the point. Because this question was really the highlight of the philosophies of Fyodor and Nietzsche. And Nietzsche, I mean, I've only read the Brothers Karamazov from Dostoevsky, but I do plan on reading more. I want to read Notes from the Underground next. But it's trying to find an answer. Like, now that God is dead, now that the Christian foundations, the foundations of Christianity embedded in what we call society, now that that's being cast aside and being torn down, what's going to be there to fill in the void? And that is the quintessential existential question. Like, that is the question, that is the crisis that they all try to figure out and trying to navigate through. And obviously Dostoevsky's is God and having an ideal above you, because it is dangerous to have us at the top of the food chain without a ramification maybe. But that's the whole notion of Christianity in itself, is crime and punishment. Reward and punishment. If you don't adhere to our ideology, you will go to hell. So there's a reward and a reward for adhering and a punishment, if you don't. So it's a deep psychological, it's a deep philosophical issue. Us humans at the very top, without something or an ideal to stifle our greedless, boundless ambitions, who knows what will happen. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Christianity, but I do understand the need of religion. I'm starting to grow the fuck up and not be so dogmatic with my views, but I just don't want to adhere to it. I find my own philosophy, but at the same time, not everyone is able to do that, and I'm attempting to. Doesn't mean I've done it. And at the end of the day, we are traditional creatures. There's no such thing as making anything in a void. Christianity is not a fucking void. That's why I don't understand some of his fucking rhetoric, like finding the truth of Christianity. Christianity in itself is not original. Christians could even come up with what they wanted as orthodoxy for centuries. Like Christian ideological disputes plagued the Byzantine Empire until its downfall, basically. Like, countless fucking emperors had to deal with some controversy or another, like another heresy, the Arian heresy, the monothe, the Monathesites, and the fucking Donatists, and like there were just so many different factions. So even in itself, there's no absolute truth because no one could even decide on what it was. There had to be purges. And Nietzsche highlights this, that in order to become the moral backbone, you have to commit immoral acts, lying and slandering and annihilating your opponents. For all the shit that we give Machiavelli, religious motherfuckers have done the same thing to justify their wars. Justify their acts of aggression and things of that nature. And it's surprising that Peterson would do such a thing. And I guess, when you get paid whatever it is that Ben Shapiro is paying him, because for him to even be cool with the Israelis and considering what the fuck those motherfuckers be doing, that's crazy, man. The overlook and the hypocrisy, some of the hypocrisy that's now being shown by Jordan Peterson, his overtly religious rhetoric, he's losing luster to me. It's not deep anymore, because once you get religious, you become dogmatic, and now everything is now to substantiate whatever claim you're making from a religious perspective. You're no longer questioning things. You're stating. So it's unfortunate, and that it's gonna be one of my life's journeys, is to figure out a philosophy, try to work with what Nietzsche had. I need to read Nietzsche again, but I need to increase my level of competence when it comes to philosophy, because it was deep, it was very profound, it was a lot of work, and I think I need to just read other philosophy, get my brain accustomed to digesting that sort of literature, and then go back to Nietzsche, because that shit was just crazy. But yeah, that's it for now. It's alarming. I'm not a fan of it. I really do respect him as a philosopher. I do enjoy his discussions with Sam Harris, for example. Another very intelligent man, Sam Harris, and he's really good with he's really big on the whole meditations thing now, which is pretty cool. Which is what I need to look into as well. So, hope everyone makes out some great gains if you haven't already. Get your meals in if you have, or it doesn't matter if you have or not, but make sure you make them gains, because gains are not made in the gym, they're made at home in the kitchen, and we all know the deal. So, well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all have a great day. Love you all, and peace.